the talks these days, women are still stereotyped, even in Western countries, especially if they try to fit into men-dominated spaces. Many industries, such as the technical, engineering, and mining sectors, employ very few women compared to the men. This is not because women are less capable in those domains. They are just made to believe so, and in many cases, denies the chance to prove their worth. Girls have been discriminated against by society and made to believe that they are inferior or less important than boys. Voice studies conducted by the United Nations on different traditional practices have found that the boy child is still viewed as better or more capable than the girl child in many countries. The question we are asking today is, how do we empower young women or young girls? The program is Turn Up on Canal The English. Stay with us. It's always very exciting to talk about issues concerning women, issues concerning the girl child, how to build the girl child, how to contribute for their growth in society and even right in their homes. Today we are talking about empowering the girl child. We equally be looking at social centers, how it can empower girls child or build their morals and encourage them to pick up in society, put that bright smile on the faces of girls. That's why we are here today, and we have important we see girls that are going to talk about their own issues. We equally focus on the social center. We'll zoom on that of Abono Prizo. I have an expert that is going to talk about that. We'll be right back after the jingle. Now you're watching the program live on Canal The English. The program is called Turn Up, a program that seeks to empower young girls and women in society, contribute for the social well-being and life. And today, as I earlier said, we are talking about empowering the girl child, and we equally zoom on social centers, how they could contribute to build a girl child and put a smile on your faces. Now, if you're watching the program, you can send your reactions on the number you're seeing on your TV screen. You can equally tag us on our Facebook page. You just have to write or Turn Up. I have all the other editions of the program that we have had. We've had more than 15 editions. You can watch them and you're going to be morally and physically built up. Today we have a wonderful, they are all women. They are potential models, let me put it that way. And we have young girls with us in the studio. They're going to be telling us about themselves. I'm going to turn to them and I am going to know who they are. I'll start with the person that is very close to me. She's called Crystal because I love the name. How are you today, Crystal?
I'm fine, madam.
You're very fine.
Yes.
Are you, that's the first time you're coming on TV, right?
Yes.
How do you feel?
I'm feeling comfortable.
You feel very comfortable?
Yes.
No, I feel like when you sit back at home and you watch TV, you watch a program, when you came in here, how did you feel? You feel like you were like at home watching the same thing?
At home, I have the radio, but not TV.
All right. But subsequently, you are live on Canal The English. You're not in the house, you're watching. We are doing it here live. Now, we also have another girl in our midst. She is called Nota. That's the name I did not know about you.
That is my first name, actually. So I make mostly use of my English names.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, how old are you?
I'm 22 years old.
Now, you're 22 years old. Now, I'll start with you. How do you feel as a girl child?
As a girl child, I must say I am proud. I'm proud that nature decided to make me a girl child. Yes. Because I have many advantages that I don't think the boy child out there has.
Now, we're going to be knowing about those advantages. Now, I want to come to you, Crystal. How do you feel being a girl?
I feel to be the girl because I just take myself comfortable.
So when you look at other girls around you and you look at yourself as a girl, you feel just fine. Now, I would like to get back to you, Lene.
Yes.
Now, as a young girl growing up in society, do you think a girl child is treated the same way or given the same value like the boy?
Not at all. We, the girls, we are not given the same opportunities because most of our parents are like, the boy has to be the man of the family, so he has to fend for his family. So they're supposed to teach him the ways of life so that he can be what he's supposed to be. And the girl, they say, your husband's going to take care of you. So you don't need to stress up yourself to do certain things and or whatnot. So girls are not given the same opportunity as boys out there.
Now, when we talk of these opportunities, can we let's get to the homes?
Okay.
Let's take examples.
Okay, I will just go even just in decision taking, normal things that happen at home. Maybe if the father wants to take a decision concerning his children, what he's going to take for the boy. Let me just take like outing times, normal things that happen in the society. They will say a boy can go and come out even the next day. Like he's given open freedom to do what he likes. Meanwhile, the girl will tell you, no, you're a woman, you're fragile. No, you have to.
But don't you think the parents are more like protective?
Yes, in the long, I can say in the long run, in the long sense, we come to understand that trying to protect us. But at times, I think they should leave us to also be entrepreneurs of our lives. We should bear the risks and actually bear the consequences.
So if you go out at midnight, do you think any parent is going to accept you to go out and then come back late at night? Because the parent will not sleep knowing that the child is out there.
Every parent is like that, but it also depends on a certain age. Because there are some parents that even you, the daughter, you are 50 years old, as far as you are in his house, they say the child never grows old in front of the parents. So their dad will be like, no, you are in my house. Even if you are a woman that has kids, you'll be like, no, it does not function because you're a girl. Meanwhile, if it's a man, if a boy has become a man tomorrow, they'll be like, master, this one can do anything he feels has to do because he is a man. They feel men are more stronger than women, either physically or mentally and all whatnot. Which I think it is not often very true.
All right. Now I want to get back to. I'll certainly come back to you. Are you treated the same way like boys that you see around you? If they put you on a boy, do you think your parents or they treat you the same?
They are not treat me the same because the boys are too young, the girls to be decide the mothers to be to control anyway.
Which means that what you want to tell me is that the girl child is the boy child is more controlled, and the girl child is more controlled than the boy because the girl child has to be beside the mother. The mother does not let loose of her, but and the boys they allow the boys to just like do anything they want, and nobody like shouts or do anything to the boy child. Now I want to ask you, Elena. Now, what are the problems? What are the problems that girl child is exposed to as a young girl?
As a young girl, I'm already like I can say an example because when you look in the career world, surely most young girls that are going to be career women, because now the world is made up of women that are trying to be career. They call ourselves career women. That is just like I say a theoretical part. Is what is written down. They call us career. But when you go down deep into the field, like at one time I was with my friends. Most of my friends are boys, and one of us just said she's going to do civil engineering. The boys were like, "What are you going to do? There's no field for girls." She was like, "But why not?" They said, "No, girls don't do civil engineering. Go and read either management or marketing. That is where you belong." I was like, "No, a girl is free to do anything she feels has to do." But when you go into most professional schools and you're a girl, I made a run of professional schools where you're trying to apply for a particular subject. A particular topic, a subject that you want to do in school or a career, they're like, no, we advise you to do this. Girls are not good for that. But we mostly forget that what a man can do, a woman can do. I know women cannot mold blocks, but there are women that mold the blocks, there are women that carry even the blocks to go to for the builder to others. Women are not given that opportunity to actually show what they are capable of doing. They believe our own was too soft. We have to do just what limits the woman to doing soft jobs, sitting in the office and all one of it. There are women that are out there that are really strong. And when you go to look for a job in certain companies, to give a certain post, they look. if you're a boy, they say no, he's a man, he can handle any problem, and they just dish him out the contract. When a girl they say no, she's a woman.
So
Maybe
which means a woman is discriminated upon when it comes.
yes, she has to them no. Even if you're just a young girl just great and you're looking for a job, they'll be like, no, maybe in 5 years she'll be a mother. So let's just count from now to 5 years.
And you feel bad about that?
I feel very bad because I believe I have so much to offer, but due to the fact that I'm a girl, I'm not given the opportunity to really offer what I want. That's the issue.
Now, Christelle, I'm sure you have dreams. Now, what do you want to become in future? What are you dreaming of becoming? What do you want to become? Do you want to be a teacher? Do you want to be a doctor? Do you have dreams?
The dream is that I want to be even the teachers.
Mm-hmm.
And the teachers also have much work and learn most.
All right, I do understand you. It means that Christelle is trying to tell us that she wants to like to be a teacher, and she knows that teachers generally, teachers have a lot of things to do. Teachers, let me say, that the brain behind successful people around the world. Now, I would like to get you, because you said a while ago that you have advantages.
Yes.
Now, as a girl, do you think a girl child has advantages?
We girls, we have advantages. Respite
But the
of
negative side is like
is weighing more than the positive
more than
side.
the positive
Yes.
sides.
Because as a girl, you're overprotected. When you're a girl, you really see how people really care about the little things you do. You're overprotected, one. And as a girl, you're not at a boy. A boy must make some certain decisions in his life. He is the man to take the last word.
All right. Now, let me take in your case. Do your parents like detail on you that they want you to become this or that or that? Then let's take your
I
example.
faced that difficulty, I think, as from when I had my advanced level. When a girl has advanced level, any young person, you know what you want in your mind, what you want to become. But my parents, especially my dad, he was like, no, why do journalism? There's law. Women are, parents are there. He's trying to put you where he feels you'll be comfortable. So I said I was still a minor. Minors don't have much to say, and I was already that way courageous. But when I started went by, I said, no, the road I'm taking is not correct. And when I stood up,
What did you do?
when I said, no, I'm no longer going that way. This time around, I'm taking but this way. It is my way. My
And
dad
how did
was
they feel? And what did they tell you at that point?
No, I just went to my dad. I was not harsh. I sat with him down. I told him that I'm not feeling comfortable doing law. I want to do nursing. That is where I'm heading to. He was like, no, in law, you have a woman is. I said, no. They like in the private sector, a woman cannot really succeed that way. I told my dad, I'm not going where there is much success. I'm going where I will be comfortable doing what I am doing. Then he was like, okay. If it's a decision, then who am I to? So I was even surprised because I knew my father would actually refuse.
I want us to talk something different now. I want to talk about forced marriages. I know most young girls are victims of forced marriages. If you have to put your shoes of a young girl who was forced into marriage, in short, can you allow that as a young girl?
I cannot allow forced marriage because there was a time I had a phobia even for marriage. Like
At
seriously.
what age?
It's just about, it's about 8 years ago that I had that phobia for marriage. Until I was telling my mother it's
8 years ago, you're just 22 and you had
Yes, I had phobia. I told my mom I am not seeing myself. My mom was like, please don't do that to me. You're my only. I said, mommy, I cannot. Then when time was going on,
Now, how did you nurse that? Where did it come from?
it was what was happening around me in general. The
You
environment.
saw all your
where-
friends were getting married, and
It's
you
not
say
even
you
a
too.
It's not even a matter of friends. What even my aunties were going through in their different marriages, and I was like, God, am I going to go through that same hell? No, I can't. So I had completely refused marriage. But when now I grew up, I said that okay, it's a root of every woman. But now forcing a young girl to get married, I don't think it is normal. Even though there are some cultures that accept it, like the Muslims, according to them, it's normal. When a girl starts menstruating, it's automatic. They start looking for that old that is going to get married to you. And I have just this short experience that I had. I was in a hospital, in the public hospital, just a few months ago with my mom. She was sick. Then in her ward, there was this particular young girl, like seriously, she was really young, really beautiful. Was a Muslim. She had a problem. She had a problem, a serious problem, because she got married at a very tender age. She gave birth at a very tender age. Now, giving birth to her last child, the child died in the stomach and they had to flush it out. Flushing it, they did not flush it completely, and some particles remain in her. And you can just imagine the pains that she was still very young. And when we saw her husband,
What age?
she was about not more than 30. She was not even up to 30. And then when her husband came, people were like, so this is a man that got married to this girl, like seriously. No, it wasn't really good, even good to see. So I cannot even encourage, even for whatsoever reason, I prefer a parent should ask the child to hustle out there to help him than to force the daughter into marriage because you need money to help yourself.
All right. Now, I want to talk a little bit to Crystal now. Is it possible that are you comfortable to talk with your mother, to talk with your father, or to talk even with your guardians? Can you easily disclose, how close are you? Can you disclose your problems?
Yeah.
What you feel inside when you have a problem, who do you go to?
I just prefer to discuss my mother or even her father, even if I see that there's no way to go to mother, I just ask mother and their father. They discuss about that.
Now, what do you generally discuss? What type of problems?
Let me say I know something about forced marriage like that. It's not good to girl to force to marry it, because forcing girl to go and marry after you start to suffer anyway, it's not good.
So you don't like that? If it was your case, you refused.
I refuse that one.
You don't like that they should force you into marriage.
No.
You've seen young girls suffer from it.
I always listen television. Many girls are just to go married because they're forcing them to marry. I don't think that is a good way.
All right, all right. Now I want us to watch this report. A girl at the age of 13, she had her first child at the age of 13. At the age of 18, she already had 3 children. Let's watch this report right back.
"35-year-old Ote Victorine is looking good and relieved after being operated from obstetric fistula. She's been lodged here at the Mercy Ships Hope Center in Nilong Douala.
I see pain in your eyes, the signs of a broken heart.
This native of Benakuma in the Menchum Division Northwest region of Cameroon had lived and suffered from obstetric fistula she contacted after a painful delivery for over 17 years.
I started the suffering on 1990 because of labor born. I labor for 3 days. I labor for 2 days, and about 3 days they carry me for womb. After going womb, they forced the pikin to come out. After the pikin came out, I suffered for 1 month. The thing can't stop.
In the midst of her pains and the loss of her 3 children, she was abandoned by her husband and entire family members.
I'm feeling bad in my skin. Even people abandon me in my village. I'm not staying with people around my side because of the odor that I have it in my skin.
Another similar case in point is theirs of 19-year-old Bungung Florentine, who was also rejected and abandoned by the husband and in-law. In 2016, when she started suffering from obstetric fistula following a failed surgery carried out during her third delivery. This native of Bafia in the Bam and Inubu division was compelled to get married at the age of 13 following the death of her parents when she was 4. Mercy Ships has so far carried out several surgical operations on Cameroonians suffering from various diseases.
So I would say things have been going very well so far. We have performed over 330 surgeries in all of our specialties, and over 1,400 dental procedures have been going on as well. And those are taking place at our dental clinic at Hôpital La Quintigny. In addition, we have had over 120 eye surgeries so far, which is amazing. Those are eye patients that come from all over Cameroon. And in fact, we're still looking for eye patients. So I would say the surgeries are on track, but our goal is still to find more patients for eye surgeries, for dental surgeries, and also for our women's health program to take care of things like obstetric fistulas and other childbirth injuries.
Here, they are being assisted by foreign and local volunteers.
It's a nice experience, something that I've always wanted to do. And as Mercy Ships came, I was like, I want to do that. So I was taken. I am happy to be here. I'm happy to work with patients.
These ladies are thankful to Mercy Ships for the help rendered to them. The humanitarian organization is still looking for adults and children with serious vision loss and dental problems for free care.
Bring out the hero inside of you. Yeah.
That was a good one from Crystal Katala, victims of obstetric fistula. Now we have, let's welcome Madame Ahone Alobwede Cecilia Anjoma. She is the director of the social center of Bono Prison, Cameroon's economic city Douala. She's right here in our midst. She's here in the studio with us. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Just to say, you're a regular face, you're a regular face on Turn Up, a program on Canal The English. Now, after watching that report, now how do you feel?
Wow. It was
A young girl suffering from obstetric fistula.
It's a sad thing, and I believe that parents should watch and see the effect of them forcing their girl child to get married at a tender age. It's not a good exercise, and the government is doing a lot to try to discourage such practices. I think they believe that it's a tradition, but such traditions should be banned because they're not healthy.
Now, how do we do to eradicate such practices? Because we have, like in the northern section of Cameroon, it's still very much practiced. Even in other African countries, we still have, you see children as young as 12, 13, being given out into marriage.
Yeah.
And they have no say.
Actually, we believe that when we give birth to children, we don't ask their opinion. They don't have a say. It means they are just a property. I don't think we should look at the child in that light. And a lot is being done to discourage such practices, even at the international level, because they are aware, they are conscious of such exercises. They believe that it's a tradition, it's a religion, or it's a culture. So some are still holding on to it.
Which is playing negatively on the girl child.
Of course, it's affecting them. It means they don't have a life.
Don't you think that the women too could come out and denounce this?
Well,
Seeing how the girls are suffering?
You know, we are still trying to hang behind the men, or to lay or wait on the men to decide on what is supposed to be done for the girl child. I believe women should not only wait to buy new fabrics on 8th March, but they should go out and denounce such practices.
Denounce such practices.
Of course. It's in the pipeline because there are many conferences that have been held. If you have to go back to read on the themes of this 8th March celebration, there are some that has talked about these early marriages. But it's because people are adamant to change. And those who are still doing it are those who are in the remote areas, who are not exposed. Because even the girls, they are now aware that it's not an obligation to go for marriage at the tender age, and they denounce it.
Now, at the level of your center, now, what is the role of the social center in such practices?
Actually, it's not a rampant practice in our area. You know, the littoral region where I'm based, it's not a rampant practice, but that notwithstanding, it doesn't cancel the fact that we are involved in everything that has to do those who are in need, those who are being marginalized, because it's like you're trying to impose your culture, an old culture, onto young children who are supposed to be exposed to all the modern activities. They are conscious of what is going on in the society. They know that you have the right to choose a husband. Why should you impose a husband to me? They see all what the Western world is doing. We have the social media. It's nothing is hidden from us now. So if you happen to subject a young girl to get married at a tender age, then you are abusing the girl. And until they make it official that no to child marriage, and it's in the law, they are not supposed to go for marriage. If you look at the Constitution of Cameroon, for a girl of 17 to get married, they need the consent of the president. So why should you take upon yourself because of tradition and you don't respect the law? And look at the consequences. This girl is suffering. She's suffering alone. The parents are not there. They've sent her to marriage.
She has been abandoned by society. She has been
Abandoned by everybody. Even the
around
husband who used to have the best time with her, she's no longer important. I believe that man already has a second wife and now has abandoned her to suffer her pain alone. The parents are responsible. Because if you don't send your child out,
and she's an orphan because she has no parent to speak for her.
Okay, that's another difficulty because she hasn't got a parent, and even the cousins, the aunties, they are even the worst people. They don't care about her well-being, and they will send her out because they want something in return for their personal interest.
Now, Christelle, you watched that. I saw you you did not like what you saw, right?
It's so painful for me to see many girls and suffering about forcing marriage.
So how can they help young girls? What do they do to stop that?
It's better to corrupt that one, that forcing marriage in Cameroon.
All right. Which means that government should do something in that light. Now I want to ask a question. In order to stop that, it means they need to educate the girl child. Now, how do we empower the girl child?
Actually,
because it starts from the mother right to the girl.
Okay. And for you to become a mother, you must be a girl.
You must be a girl.
And they say education begins at home. So I believe that empowering your girl child must start at home. You should give value to a child. The sex doesn't matter. I want to make reference to one parent who used to abandon the child because it's a girl child at the level of the hospital. If it's announced when the wife is pregnant and it's announced that the wife has given birth,
do we still have such practices today?
Of course.
In Cameroon?
I lived it.
Because I know it used to be before.
Yeah, presently it's still going on because people are still really backward. People are still closed up. And it's because of that that many girls are suffering. This father has abandoned 2 of his girls because they are girls. And at the end of the day, these girls, they've grown up to be responsible. They are well placed and are the ones taking care of him. You can imagine. So
the children he had once abandoned turned to be the best children he has ever had in life.
Of course.
Simply because they were girls. and they proved it otherwise.
Okay.
I think there are millions of girls out there who need to know that they have something, they have talents, they have potentials.
So-
They need to identify those talents, they need to identify those potentials, they need to have self-confidence, but we don't see that these days in girls. What is happening?
I believe it's because they don't listen to their parents. Most girls are abandoned
Is it
to
that the
themselves.
parents do their job well,
Of course,
or
there's
the
some
girls?
laxity in parenting, child parenting, because most girls are left to themselves. I have an experience of a girl who got pregnant and delivered in their house. And the mother only discovered because they saw touches of blood on the staircase. So it means she was pregnant for 9 months and the mother wasn't aware. So where are the mothers? So we should not only blame the girls. Where are the mothers? They are not there to give the first education that the children need. The children are abandoned to themselves. They are left for housemates or babysitters to raise them up. So I think it's a challenge. What we need to do is to be conscious of the number of children we want to bring up into this world, because those children were not asked to be born. If we know we are not willing to do our duty as a parent, we should not go in making children.
So you should have like one, just the number you're comfortable of taking care
Of
of.
course, there's some people who decide from the beginning.
Someone will tell you that I don't want to kill the babies. I prefer to have them because
There are
the
there are
Bible is
natural
again, God is
ways that you
against
can
that.
prevent pregnancy. There are a lot of ways that we can stop being pregnant. So you should avoid making children when you can be available for them. I know we are all career women, but we should be. We make ourselves available so that we can educate our children. We don't wait for the TV, the social media, and other negative media to educate our children, especially the girl child. I listened to that young lady. Well, they think that they are being overprotected, but I believe they need it because, first of all, they are supposed to be more organized and composed. Much is expected from a girl child more than a boy, in terms of morals, in terms of assimilation, especially when it comes to you being the incubator, which a girl at the tender age is supposed to be, because you harbor everything. So if you are not well brought up, because we believe that a girl who is always outside is a loose child, and it's because the parents have failed to educate you. So if you don't let your parents tell you what to do, it's as if you don't have a parent. Well, everybody has his parenting rules, and you should just adhere so that they will not insult your mother tomorrow, because when anything happens to you, your mother bears the consequences.
All right. Now, do you know the role of social centers? Do you know where they are found in Douala or any other part of the country? Now, we went to the Bonaprizo Social Center. Let's find out.
Every morning, Alobwede Ahone Cecilia passes through this small gate to start her day at this social center situated in Bonaprizo, Douala, Cameroon. She exchanges with her collaborators and fixes a roadmap for the day.
I see pain in your eyes, the signs of a broken heart.
The trained social worker is passionate with her job, but there are moments in the profession which makes her bitter. Cecilia says the sector is marginalized even by government.
Social welfare hasn't got a status, so it's like we are being marginalized, we are not being recognized in Cameroon. Our services are not cherished, because I believe it's because they don't know what it takes to be a social worker.
She decries the fact that so many Cameroonians are ignorant of the services offered by a social center.
If you are not psychologically balanced, you cannot be productive. If they knew that even those taxpayers who bring in money need to have a balanced psychology, a balanced state, then they will invest in social welfare. Out there, we know what it means to be a social worker. But we are the least out of the various departments that are being trained in ENAM. We are the least in terms of everything.
No.
So.
These so dresses is proof that the center offers different activities to learners, specifically to the girl child. It is a case with this adolescent girl who escaped marriage and was deprived formal education by her parents who could not afford it.
These are vulnerable girls who could not continue their education because either their parents didn't have enough money to send them to school. They must have finished the primary school and they need to continue it. They didn't have the means. So their parents are looking for a way. And we do advertise this, our activities, because we want to help, especially the girl child.
Usually call me to assist her in counseling people in a godly way. Because one thing that we have to know that in everything that we are doing, God must be first. That is the main reason why he said in his book that seek him first and his kingdom, and all his righteousness shall be given unto you. By the time you have a godly counsel, it will help you more to move on in life. Because that is the reason why I usually be at our side to counsel people in a godly way. Because no matter the problem that we are facing in this world, there is always a way to solve it with the Word of God, because the Word of God became a direction for every human being, because we have to know.
The children have the opportunity to do catering. This pushed us to examine the food cooked for the day, and the dining section is set.
I'm doing sewing, dressing table, put spoon, forks,
we offer disciplines like catering and tailoring. Lately, we're trying to set up an IT center, but it didn't work as such, so that we've decided to drop it for now.
Marital problems are also handled by the center, and the peak periods are March, September, and December.
Our activities, we do, we carry out social justice, which is like trying to help minors in faced with the law. We do mediation, that's resolving family conflict, conjugal conflict. We help, we provide assistance to the disabled, the old, the vulnerable. You usually hear people talk about abandoned children. This is where they are being brought. In centers like this, they are present in every quarters in Douala.
But one of the problems faced by the center is the absence of funding. Despite the difficulties, they still succeed to empower the girl child.
Welcome back. We are back here in the studio after watching the report on the role of social centers. We zoomed on the social center in Bonaprizo, Douala, Cameroon, and the director is right here with us in the studio. She will tell us more about that because our interest is to make people to know what social centers can do to them, because they have diverse roles, and we have so many people who don't still know what social centers can do to them. Now, I want to come back to you. We have social centers all over the place. Douala, Cameroon have a multiple of them. Now, do you have the means to do your job as a social worker?
I think I should just give a brief information about the social center. Yeah, the social center has been existing well in advance, and it's like a technical specialized unit of the Ministry of Social Affairs, which is a hand, an executing hand of the government. And it's out, presently it was upgraded because of the policies that the government had to transform the socially vulnerable people from social charges to contributors and actors in nation building. So because of that, these structures, the one we just saw, it has been reorganized. It used to be as it is bare and terrible, but it has been reorganized to suit the policies that the government wants to implement, that the vulnerable should not only be charges, but they should be contributors into a nation building and emergence 2035.
Now, how do you function?
Okay.
How do you function?
Yeah, I was getting to that, but I would just like to tell you that there are many centers. We have 17 social centers only in the Wuri division. 52 social action services. These are all executing hands of the government, which are out to do the same activities that we just watched in that documentary, how we function. That's interesting. We are out to create activities because the center, it's bare, it's empty, but you, as the head of that center, you are to animate the center.
You need funds.
You need funding to be able to make it active. Because if you don't animate, it will just end up being empty, just receiving people who come and complain, because we have other clients who come, who deal with vulnerable people, and they are always there to complain. But they come in and go, come in and go. What the government wants to do is those who believe they are not apt, they are not capable of being productive, we should transform them to productive people by making a place conducive like the social center and making the available resources, working in partnership with other social, private social welfare institutions. And this, the government has made it a primordial aspect as far as moving towards emergence 2035, which is the cry of the century. We are waiting. I don't know if we'll get to that 2035, but I think we are focusing mostly on the girl child.
Now, that's a question I wanted to ask before I even get to that. Now, I want to ask Christella, because she's a product of your center. Now, Christella is what she is today, thanks to your center. And now, I saw Christelle smiling when she watched herself in that report that just passed. Now, how do you feel belonging to that center?
I feel myself comfortable because I just find myself to provide myself what I'm doing, what I'm doing. Encourage also those other
young girls, right?
Those other young girls that are not doing anything, that they come to the center and learn what I'm doing, and so they will come out with something.
All right. Crystal is just trying to tell other young girls that are out there, because we have so many young girls. We have millions of young girls who are out there sitting in their house. They are frustrated. They don't know where to go to. We'll have these social centers that can help you. They are just beside you, but you don't know what you are capable of doing in your life, because what you need to be impacted something so that you become somebody useful in society. That's what Crystal is simply saying. She has been empowered and she's still in the social center. She's still helping herself. I'm sure you have things. Are you sewing? Are you into tailoring? Oh, that's what you're doing? You're sewing dresses. You have dresses you've sewed. Or what are you learning?
I'm learning. Just
You're still learning.
Yes.
Now, I want to come back to Cecilia and Juma. Now, how do you empower the girl child in your center?
Actually, we are into certain activities that are encouraging as far as girls are concerned, like catering and tailoring. They believe that is something that's meant for girls. Well, we are doing our best, taking into cognizance that we don't have enough funds, so we are working with what we do have.
And I just want to say it's free.
Yes,
it's free of charge.
Yes.
So you don't need to come, maybe because people might be listening to you, they think maybe there's a fee they have to pay in order to learn a trade in the center, but it's free of charge.
It's free of charge. And with the mentality we have, I'm very happy to have her beside us, because some Cameroonians believe that something that is for free is not good. I want to believe you hear from her. You've heard you've got her impression about her experience out there. I believe it's something you can't come in there and you go
and go back the same.
We also have a girl who just passed by. That girl came in, she could not express herself in neither French or English. She spoke but for full day. But you heard her speaking in French. So it's like it's a reformation center, and that's what all social centers are out for, to transform people using their skills, their capacity, their aptitude, and make them to know that they are capable. Disability is not inability. So if you are in the house and you don't have where to go, or your parents don't have money, you just need to approach the nearest social center or inquire about their activities. We are trying to showcase our center, and I believe it's what is happening to all the other centers that are located in the Wuri division. But I believe that if you come to Social Center Bonaprizo, you will not regret bringing your daughter or a son, because boys are also available, they are also eligible.
We equally have boys who also come. It's not just something just for the girls. It's not just for the girls. Now, but what we need is funding. So have people that are watching, that are listening, because what we need is to empower the girl child. So if you're so interested, we have the number. If you want to know more about the center, you can send your reactions on the number you're seeing on your TV screen. Now I want to look at other activities you do, because you also help in solving marital conflicts and others. Do you have couples knocking at your doors?
Of course, we have couples. We receive many problems, conjugal problems, but what is disturbing is that most who come to complain are not married. They are living. They are living together. They say, "Come, we stay," as which is very, very disturbing, because it becomes very difficult for you to manage such a crisis. The lady,
the man is not obliged to.
No, not at all, and even to take care of the children, who are always our concern, because as the social welfare is concerned, the child is our client. So most parents abandon their women with children. After making children, you leave the woman and go for another woman. Abandon them without a trade. Most of them don't allow their women to work. And at the end of the day, this woman ends up with 3-4 children without finances, without assistance, nothing. I believe that we just talked about empowering the girl
Doesn't
child.
mean that you cannot help like somebody who's living in concubinage.
We can help because there's no legal obligation.
So in that case, how do you
The-
handle that situation? How do you handle the problem?
We most of the times we strive for a balance, how amicably to try to talk some sense into the man who is supposed to be the only breadwinner.
And try to do follow up as well.
Of course we do. We do follow up because most of them do recognize the children. If you recognize the child, you are responsible for the child. And if you abandon the child, you are supposed to be, you are supposed to face legal charges because you recognize the child. But then, I think there should be some modification in our laws. If the government should introduce a new form of making parents responsible by implementing child support. I believe that it will do a great deal to remove or reduce the number of street children we have on the street, or those who are harassing men out there, girls especially. Men are irresponsible in their act. They move about making children, dotting them left, right, center, and not taking care.
All right. Now we've come to the end of the program. If you love the program, they'll have a rebroadcast tomorrow at exactly 10 a.m. But for now, we'll say goodbye. But before we say goodbye, I would like to say thank you to my guests who are still in the studio, Crystal and Madam Cecilia Joma. And to you, I will say thank you for watching. Till another rendezvous, same time next week.